So yesterday I made a video talking about what you should and shouldn't do if you want to become the kind of man you want to become. And very simply, I went over and talked about, for the most part, the importance of to stop waiting around for things to happen. Instead, you need to start happening to life instead of letting life happen to you. So today I wanted to build on this subject a little bit more and talk about, well, very simply ask you this one simple question. What are you building right now? And if the answer is, I don't really know, then you can just stop the video right now and you already know what you need to do. You need to find out, what are you trying to build? What kind of character are you trying to build? What kind of lifestyle are you trying to build? What kind of life do you want to build for yourself? Just stop the video, go back to what type of life you were living currently before clicking on this video, and just stop all distractions and just think for yourself. What is it that you want to build? What is it that you want to build? What is it that you want to have, to craft, to construct, to create a life for yourself that actually matters for yourself? Not that somebody else decided for you, not that you're doing for the sake of somebody else, but instead that you're doing for your own sake because that's what you've decided to do. I saw a thumbnail video on my recommended section on YouTube recently, which was maybe you've seen it. It was a video of this silhouette of a man, completely blank red, with the word choices in the very center. And that is for the most part very accurate, because you are the result of all of the choices and all of the actions and all of the things you've done so far in your life. May it be that you're 20 years of age, or may it be that you're 54. Both remain the exact same, because you are a result, a direct outcome of all of the decisions that you've made, of all of the environments and what kind of impact they've had on you, and all of the different small things and nitbits and tweaks and refinements and changes and people you've met and hang around with, and habits and environments and languages and all of this stuff, right? You're the result of all of that. And if you don't feel satisfied with the result of who you are today, then you understand that you still have work to do. To give you a little bit of perspective, I listened to a video today while eating my breakfast, just before this video actually, just before recording. Sit down to record yet another video, as I post one video every single day. So if you're interested, just check all of them out if you want. Check one of them out. We basically talk about doing better on this channel and becoming a respected man in today's society. So, for the most part, this video that I listened just before recording this one talked about the amount of money that you need to have in order to be free for the rest of your life, for you and your family to be rest for the rest of your life, to be free forever. And he said, first the guy asked a question, which was, do any of you know the percentage yield on a yearly basis of the S&P 500 or any kind of stocks on average? And nobody could guess the answer, but he said it was 12%. And he said, in order to benefit from that 12% extra every single year, you need to have a certain amount of dollar amount, financial amount in an account in order to always yield a positive result from the increase, right? And you might be thinking, oh yeah, it's probably like a couple $1 million. Not really. When you hit $1 or $2 million, you're in a very good position. But it's not nearly enough. If you want to be free and you want to be retired for the rest of your life financially, being able to do whatever you want, go wherever you want, take care of anybody you want, you need to at least have $100 million. Because as soon as you have $100 million, if you're not actively spending it, it's practically impossible to waste it or to lose it or to get rid of it. Because if you invest it properly and you always have that return every single year, it's practically impossible to waste $12 million a year. Just something to put this into perspective for you. If you want to build your life, I don't know what you want. Of course, everybody wants something different. And I'm not urging you to want something that I want, or want something that Elon Musk wants, or that Donald Trump wants, or that anybody wants, right? I always urge people to find out what they want personally, right? Find out what they want on an individual level, not only to benefit themselves, but also to benefit the collective around them. If they have a family, if they have kids, especially if they have a wife, if they have friends and family, if you benefit their lives more than you benefit yours, you will always find yourself in a position of strength. Very simple. Very simple equation. If you become the man everybody asks help to, then in that case you'll always have opportunity come your way. It's inevitable. So, and this is my goal personally. I want to become the man where he's so capable and he has so much resources at his disposal, such a big network, he has a good reputation, he's respected by other people, admired by other people, he is good, kind, fair, just. And I want other people to know that about me before they come to me. And whenever I'm working with somebody, or whenever somebody asks me for a favor, I want to be able to help them. Because if I can't help them, I feel a little bit bad. I feel a little bit like I've let them down. So in this case, I want to become the man that is able to help out other people, that can grant favors, that can help other people in times of distress, just because it's the right thing to do. And I'm not talking about good and evil, I'm talking about right and wrong. So you need to have a very strong moral compass and ethics in your own head in order to do this. Otherwise, you're just going to end up fucking around. So, at the end of the day, you need to think about what are you going to build for yourself. Are you going to build a business? Are you going to build a family? Are you going to build a home? Are you going to build your skills? Are you going to build your character? Are you going to build your family up? What are you going to build? Because if you don't build anything, then might as well call yourself a fucking leech. Because that's basically what you are. Leeching off the system, leeching off somebody else, leeching off anybody and everybody and everything. Because you don't produce any value. When you build things and you create things and you produce things, you become a positively reinforcing member of society that helps others and that provides for others. Now, of course, don't provide something that nobody would actually benefit from. That's just stupid. Like, for instance, I wouldn't urge anybody to become a drug dealer, to produce drugs, to sell drugs, to provide drugs. It's just fucking stupid, okay? On the other hand, if you want to create your own gym and make sure that it's accessible for anybody that, regardless of how much money they have, they can go to, and it's always going to be clean, and it's always going to be a good environment, and it's always going to be reinforcing the community in the local area, then in that case, by all means, please do that. But I don't want to force you to do anything. I want you to come to your own conclusion of what do you want to build. This is a very important subject because there's more and more people today, especially the next generation. Like, sometimes I go out there and I work at a coffee shop, or I work at a little office area, or I work in a library, whatever the fuck, okay? Or outside. And I see these people with their families, and you see kids that are like 1, 2, 3, 4 years old, and they've just got a phone or an iPad in front of them. And their brain is just slush. They've developed no critical thinking skills. They're just like this. I don't really think anybody wants their kids to be like that. Truly. And I hope not. Because otherwise, it does say a lot about society today if people want their kids to be like that. They're completely blind to the adverse effects of social media and fucking entertainment and the fucking iPad kid generation that is being brought up right now. You know, there are people in the USA, one of the greatest countries on earth, if not the greatest, that are 15 years old, 17 years old, that cannot even read or write properly. Like, what the fuck is that? Can't even do basic calculus. How is that real? So, not only do you have a duty towards yourself to become a more prominent member of society, but you also have a duty towards the next generation to raise them properly and to give them advice and to prop them up and help them, push them forward to do better. Because if we don't do this, humanity is just going to end up killing itself. Let's say it how it is. So many movies, so many TV shows, so many pieces of art have I've represented rather the fall of humanity from its own hubris, from its own exploiting the resources of the planet, so much so that it has just created a completely different world, and it has just killed off so many people and just basically just caused the extinction of the human race because of our own hubris, because we ended up having such a big fucking ego that we just made the world go to shit. So unless we teach our next generation and ourselves in the process how to do better, then we're just going to end up in the same vicious cycle over and over and over again of just doing worse. And slowly society is just going to spiral downward until we get to a point where it's impossible to get back to where we were. You need to be aware of this, okay? So, at the end of the fucking day, I can tell you all of these words, all of these things, but it is you who is going to decide for yourself. What are you going to do? What are you going to build? What are you going to produce? What are you going to create? And I hope that every single one of you can come to the conclusion that I've come to, which is building something that truly matters is more important than any amount of cheap dopamine or feeling good or feeling better in the present moment could ever bring you. There is always a kind of thing in the back of my mind where I think to myself, how can I actually do better? Right? Because if I don't, then nobody's going to do it for me. But if we all come together and we all help each other, then we can all prop ourselves forward together and we can be more united to help humanity do better. If a larger percentage of humanity, over 50% of them, want to do better, and if we get to 60% and 70%, then in that case it will be much easier to get rid of the bad, to get rid of the unjust things, the unfairness, the crime, the fucking whatever you want to call it, the disrespect, the crime, the killing people for no reason, the disagreements, the whatever it may be, okay? Anything that makes society greedy and selfish should be reduced to a minimal amount in order to make everybody benefit from each other. Because at the end of the day, we're all on this fucking planet together. I guess that's kind of like my my humanist approach in the background working, but I don't really think that everybody was meant to be a good person. And I think humanity at its very core isn't necessarily good, but we've been blessed with the gift of intelligence, so we are able to make these decisions between right and wrong, between just and fair, between unjust and right. So I want you to take some time today to really think for yourself, what are you going to start building? For instance, I'm building this channel. I'm posting one video every single day until I hit at least 365 videos. So that way I would have posted once every day for a year straight. That's the goal I've set for right now. So basically, I'm just focusing on what the ethos of this channel is, which is to help men like myself do better, to make better decisions, to think about what they're doing, and to become better men in the process, to become more respected members of society because they produce value and they are good people. And with that said, thank you guys so much for watching, and as per usual, it's a beautiful day, so it's time to get back to work, and I will see you in the next one tomorrow. So if that's something you're interested in seeing, like, comment, subscribe, stick around, and I'll catch you around. See ya.